Good evening. There are 3 teams in total that have been playing ever since IPL came about and yet haven't got their hands on the trophy. Those 3 teams are Kings 11 Punjab or Punjab Kings. Of course, their name has changed, but the result remains the same. The other one is the team that we would be discussing today. The privilege that we have of talking about a team will be Delhi Capitals, of course also with a name change. They were Delhi Daredevils, results the same. And of course the one which is most famous for it and gets unreal amount of hate, RCB. But
they have not changed their name.
They haven't changed their name.
and or anything else.
Punjab have now they've changed their stadium as well. They've let go of the PCA. They're going to be playing at a new stadium.
No, they had changed their stadium.
In the past also, yes, twice in fact.
Indore or somewhere.
Indore, Dharamshala has become a de facto second home.
So they've tried. So just changing the jersey hasn't been the trick.
Even Delhi are changing stadiums for this year. First two games,
but it's not out of will, let's say, because again it's the overlap with the WPL, which is why you have that. But
it's okay. Over there also Delhi Capitals will get the same home feeling only. There also their fans won't be supporting them, so it's fine.
It's a divided house, as you know. When you go to the Firozshah Kotla, the erstwhile Firozshah Kotla, now the Arun Jaitley Stadium, there's nothing like home advantage for Delhi. I, as a Delhi fan, can say that safely because I've been to the stadium enough times, and it is disappointing. If I can on the platforms, it is disappointing that people from the city have switched allegiances because of favorite players and this and that.
It's weirdly common. So, I see people who have nothing to do with Chennai supporting them because of Dhoni.
Yeah. Oh. In fact, I've
been to Rajasthan games, I've been to Chennai games, I've been to Kolkata games. You'll have Shah Rukh fans there. You get MS fans.
We have one in our office, by the way. A Shah Rukh fan who supports KKR.
Yes.
In our team.
Yes. So that's the thing. But I think the franchise also has done
precious little to encourage that fan following.
To ensure that culture, let's say, of this being, let's say, the home team or this being, the national capital, and there's one phase that people could associate with, or a homegrown talent or a local boy.
But you have that now. Rishabh Pant is your local boy.
In Yash Dhul again.
You had Virender Sehwag earlier.
Gambhir.
But you let go again. The problem with the franchise has been that these names have been there, but they've not been associated for the longest time.
That's not the reason.
Gambhir as well.
No, but let's look at RCB. Virat is not a Bangalore boy. They found a connect. I think Dhoni in Chennai.
Again, they see the way Chennai again. They say MS Dhoni is Chennai's adopted son. You didn't have that branding, let's say, or you didn't meet out that sort of treatment or love, let's say, as a franchise as well. Maybe a Prithvi Shaw, who has been given that kind love and attention to, you placed your Rishabh Pant, yes.
It's been 8 years now, I think he's there.
Rishabh Pant.
More than that.
But again, Rishabh Pant was also in many ways in the shadows of the other players. He made his name only,
that's not the reason.
Later on.
That's not the reason.
And now you're looking at Rishabh Pant now, let's say the last few years.
But other teams Chennai took to MS Dhoni pretty early only. Virat Kohli.
See, with Delhi again, the split was between Rishabh Pant and Shreyas Iyer. Again, that's a split that happened only 2 years back.
I'm saying you don't have to be captain. I'm saying Rishabh Pant was there.
Yeah.
He was there. Delhi could have. I tell you what the problem with Delhi is. Too big a problem. It's not so much the faces you let them go, you had for a few years. You had Shikhar Dhawan also, local boy.
The core was never there.
Core is not there. That is one, but that also keeps changing. I still see Rajasthan also kept changing their teams for very long. Still you had fan following. That's not the reason. One of the major reasons you got to understand Delhi as a city. There's no such Delhiite.
There is?
No. Yeah. What I'm saying is, per se, it's a city of immigrants only.
Yeah.
Wherever.
It's very cosmopolitan. It's very heterogeneous that way.
No, as in what I'm saying is Delhi is, everyone is a kind of a refugee as such, come from somewhere else, who settled down in Delhi and made Delhi their home, born here, brought up here and so on and so forth, right? But it's not like, Kolkata is a city predominantly by the local Bengalis, and of course there will be other people who've settled down over the years in different population, but predominantly belonging to a state as such. Delhi's had a cosmo mixed culture, everyone's from the outside, that's one. So you don't relate in that sense, that's one issue. And the Second issue is of not winning titles, and I think that's the problem. I'll give you another example, which is Punjab. We went for a game last season, and it was an RCB game. And do you know that when we went to the stadium, majority people were all cheering for RCB because they were Virat Kohli fans. Now that is again a franchise that belongs to a state, so you can have that connect at least, right? So you have these Sikh gentlemen who are all sitting in the crowd, instead of turning Punjab, they're all cheering for Virat Kohli. So that also, winning matters. So if Delhi were to win a title or two, I'm sure they will get that kind of fan following. I went for that game, Chennai, last season, Chennai. I did it from the ground, as you remember, Chennai versus Delhi. It was only yellow. Everyone came to support.
Even little kids, I remember that you spoke with.
But Pant has that. Pant has that with which fans can connect to. And even if you get other players, you keep a consistent team, you stick with them. And maybe gradually, maybe also with time, I think the next generation as such will connect. But I do see a lot of Delhi fans as well. There are two in our office. What are the chances of that happening? We're a 6-7 member team and 2 are Delhi fans. Exactly. That percentage is quite high. If you had to get that across the city, there'd be enough to turn up.
You don't.
But there are people who turn up. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're going to be discussing your team, Harshit's team, the team that he supports. As always, you know the drill, as we did with the previous team. We try and make a likely 11. When we try and make the 11, we also look at the subs, which we think would be the ideal for them. And then basis that, we will at the end look at their strengths and weaknesses. And when we look at the strengths and weaknesses, we'll answer the final, or try and answer the final question. Are they a top 4 sort of a team or not? Right, but that is going to come towards the end of the program. We'll try to take some of your questions as well. Before that, the latest update is Rishabh Pant is fit. How does that make you feel? Delhi fan?
Again, it's not come as a surprise. This is something that you expected. So many of these quotes had been doing the rounds from Ricky Ponting, from Saurav Ganguly, plenty of other reports as well did the rounds. My only surprise over there being the fact that the BCCI has cleared him as a wicket-keeper batter. Now you expected Rishabh Pant to be there available and be leading the Delhi franchise in this edition of the IPL, and you knew he was going to be there again batting in the top order for you. But does he keep the wickets or not for you, given that he's been given the clearance? That's where the big question mark for the franchise.
Are you convinced after that release that he's going to be keeping?
So I'm just going to go back to what I heard from Par Jindal. Just about a week back or so, he'd given an insight on not just him but a couple of other players as well. He talked about Tristan Stubbs, he talked about Anrik Nokia. The update about Pant, and that's where he made it clear. He said that we're waiting for the clearance to come from the BCCI. Once that is in, then of course we get the go ahead. But we've been watching him play. He played in that game that they had in Allur as well, where they had put up a camp.
So he kept there. In one of the games, he kept there. They played multiple games, but in one of the games he kept.
But what he also said was that we are happy to see the way that he is moving around. He showed no sign of discomfort. He joins the camp in Visakhapatnam now that the clearance has been given. But he also most importantly said that for the first half, the first 7 games, we are only looking him as a batter. He keeps for us in the second half, given how his body reacts in the IPL. So that is something that is clear coming from the DC dugout. I am not too sure, given what the update was shared by the BCCI early in the morning. I'm not going by that because it says clearly he's been cleared as wicketkeeper batter. I'm going with what Par Jindal suggested.
But he said a couple of weeks ago things may have changed, no? So if BCCI says, just to let you know why the BCCI update was important in the case of Rishabh Pant, that's because he's a contracted player. Yes. So most contracted players need to give that go ahead from the BCCI, from the National Cricket Academy, from the staff that is looking after them, and that's where they recuperate as well. If he wasn't a contracted player, then probably the franchises could have taken the call. But in his case, because he's a contracted player, and if you look at that detailed report that has come out, it does talk about all contracted players, including a Prasidh Krishna and including Mohammad Shami as well. Yes, all contracted players have been mentioned because then that's BCCI's prerogative to then let you know. So in Pant's case, they've given a go ahead, which is now full freedom to the IPL franchise to consider him as a wicketkeeper batter. Now that's another thing, they assess him when they feel he's not good enough to be a wicketkeeper batter, not now, or maybe a few games, not a few games, that's their call entirely. But at the moment, BCCI has given a go ahead. So what we'll try and do is, when we make our 11, consider him as a wicketkeeper batter. You can give some other option, but let's consider him because BCCI says so. Once the IPL starts and Delhi decide to do something, maybe the Park Jindal interview also happened before the BCCI clearance, so maybe he didn't have the authority and the confidence to say.
It did happen prior. Again, it's about a week or 10 days back that he gave this interview. But I'm guessing he'd know a thing or two, and let's say there's only so much that improves over a period of 10 days.
No, but I'm saying maybe he did not have the liberty of saying anything at that time. So now that the clearance has come in place, so I'm saying we'll just take it on face value.
Okay.
The BCCI's clearance.
Okay.
I have before we get into the 11, I have another question for you. Do you think now he's in contention for the T20 World Cup? You've had Jay Shah mention it as well.
He said as much. If Pant keeps, then he's in contention. Now it depends on, I think, how he performs.
How he performs with the bat is what
he's halfway there.
Is he a contender?
Yes.
How many contenders are you going to have? You have the current incumbent, Jitesh, who has been keeping for you in T20 and has done well in that position, in the limited opportunities that he's got. Made pretty clear by the Indian team management, he's a first choice wicketkeeper batter in T20 cricket because of the responsibility that he has of finishing. That's a specified role, and he does that, and he's done it very well. Then you took a backup in Sanju Samson. Then now there will be a Rishabh Pant.
KL Rahul.
Jurel.
There is a KL Rahul. There is a Jurel. Oh man.
So you have 5 players for, in essence, 2 spots. And mind you, Jurel was saying, but he's also not going to be keeping for his franchise because he happens to play in the same franchise as Sanju Samson.
But Sanju has done it in the past where he could be an on-field player.
But
he has been an on-field player, even for the Indian team.
Yeah, for Indian team especially.
He's been an on-field player. He's fielded. And sometimes a captain likes to give the responsibility for someone. See, if you're going to include Jurel as a batter, let's say assuming if you include him as a batter in the team, then the captain could very well say, okay, you keep it. But I don't know whether Sanju will do that, considering Sanju is going to be in competition.
Exactly. Sanju is the second choice at this point. Why would he willingly give up the gloves?
But maybe then the selectors just look at the batting form. They know that Jurel can keep. He's keeping test match. Much tougher format to do it. So then it could be a straight out competition or a fight between the 2 batters in one franchise only.
Correct.
And of course a few other batters. Wicket-keeper batters, that is.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing. You have a lot of choices. You're spoiled for choice at this point. That's before you even consider the fact that KL Rahul is going to be batting in the middle order.
Is he batting in the middle?
Every indication suggests he will be. Every indication.
I don't know.
I would be surprised if it happens. But
the only thing is, does the franchise now deal the matter with an iron fist? Because see, the intention's been made clear. There's multiple reports to believe that he wants to play that. That's the only position left for him to somehow sneak into the T20 scheme of things for the World Cup. Whether or not, and it's a tough franchise. The owners are tough nuts to crack. They were the same ones who weren't happy with the Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and then even let go of a Dhoni to have Steve Smith then captain the other franchise that they were earlier had in the IPL. I'm not too sure if they're going to be taking, just because it is KL Rahul's wish and want to be wanting to make his way, maneuver his way into the side, they're going to let that happen, and the opportunity cost be the 24 edition of the IPL campaign.
See, it makes no sense actually from the franchise.
And Shivam's interested.
Yeah, because his team.
Yes.
Okay, Shivam, go ahead.
As a LSC fan, I want to win bat at 4 or 3 in between.
As a fan.
Why?
He's
But
an
why?
LSG fan,
I
producer.
don't
He
know
wants us to.
why.
His best performance in the IPL has come as an opener,
He's
no matter which
always been-
franchise he's played for.
Always top 4 run getter, strike rate of 125, 30 or maybe 130.
And
But
for
again, he's
whichever
always top
franchise.
4, but opening.
But we have enough blasting openers.
Okay, that's fine. Shivam, a Lucknow Super Giants fan in
And
the
he
house.
can still perform in the
Our
middle order,
producer.
but he'll have to give you a strike rate of about 145, 50, then can he do that? And give you those many runs?
Wait, by the way, when he started off with the Indian team in the middle order, I remember a series or two where he batted there. ODI we remember, I remember him doing it in T20 also, he did Tonkin. ODIs I remember in New Zealand. As soon as they sent him for 5 first time, he did very well.
He did well in Zimbabwe also. Was he opening then though? I'm just trying to recall.
Could have
I
been.
can't remember.
I don't remember.
I remember the New
See,
Zealand.
but also, if you're looking at it from an LSG perspective, they have a lot of keepers as well. Because even if you keep aside KL, you have a Nicholas Puran and you have a Quinton de Kock. What exactly are they going to be doing?
Yeah, but then in KL's case, they will not look at the keeping up. In case he gets runs by the ton, one of the top run getters, they say, okay, we'll take him as wicket keeper batter.
You
Because
know
wicket
that.
keeping you can do. Don't have to. That's why I said for Jurel and Samsung also. Don't need to show your wicket keeping. All you need to do is show your form with the bat. Wicket keeping, though, it'll be interesting. Will be interesting. Do let us know what you think. We'll get to your questions a little later. Let's get down to business and let's try and make that 11 for Delhi. I have a feeling it could be an easy job, no?
Yeah, Delhi Capitals have a pretty settled lineup. I mean,
See, which is where also the problem is, and that we'll
That's
address.
a problem?
It is a problem. It is a problem because you can't name 13 good players otherwise in the team. You can name the best 11, let's say, bench strength, and that's, if you ask me what the weakness of this side is, we'll talk about the players, we'll talk about the players at disposal for Delhi, but the fact that they don't have enough bench strength and they bat only till about.
Don't give away your strengths, weaknesses now.
It's for anyone who's seen the auction as well for Delhi knows what their weakness, let's say, is. Not much has changed, let's be honest about it. So there lies the strength and the weakness, one can say.
Okay, we'll get to it. Let's start with the openers. Prithvi Shaw, David Warner.
Exactly.
Any surprises?
no.
But Shaw also
Should
needs
we
to.
put the graphic first?
No, we'll keep
keep
visiting.
circling
Yeah,
back to that.
we'll keep going to the squad. I mean, it doesn't matter what the squad is.
Okay.
Do you have anything in mind? If you did, then I would say I would need to look at the squad. Straight up, without any doubt, it'll be Prithvi Shaw, David Warner as your opener. You have another opener?
No, he's a DC fan. How can you forget?
Not for me, for others.
But see, Shaw is another player, by the way, who there's a lot of pressure on. Not been having a great time in domestic cricket. Even for the IPL, I think the last good IPL he had was years back. So again, I think that long rope has to be shortening at some point, and the franchise have been very patient with him.
Yeah.
But eventually, you want some return to that patience.
That's a credit to Delhi. You keep saying that they're not consistent with Shaw. They have been.
But that's what I'm saying. They backed the wrong horse. They backed the wrong horse, and they've done it season after season. I wasn't the biggest fan when they when they retained him, and the fact that they were extremely kind to him last season as well. The man was looking out of sorts the entire season. Yes, I think he got dropped a couple of times, but again, you've been way too patient for a couple of seasons now, and this, for his own sake, I think his T20 career, his IPL career is at stake now, Prithvi Shaw, because there's no way he's getting into the Indian team as far as other formats are concerned. If there's any way he can redeem himself as a cricketer, he needs to do something special in this season, and this is because he's not getting retained by Delhi, I can tell you, if of course we don't make one more mistake going into the next year's mega auction. But he will have to give you good 450, 500 runs for him to be having a franchise next year. Otherwise, base price, that's all I see for, or a couple of increments for him, but nothing apart from that. He's not going to have much takers, Prithvi Shaw. So last season for him.
Okay, so important season for Shaw. Warner, Shaw are your openers. Let's get to number 3. Does anyone have other than Mitch Marsh at that spot? Nobody?
No chance.
No
so
chance
go
at
with
all.
Mitch Marsh.
Possibly the T20I captain for Australia in the World Cup as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Possibly, isn't he the captain?
Yeah, but they haven't announced the
Announced
World
it.
Cup captain.
Right.
He's saying possibly could be
Yeah.
the captain. Mitch Marsh comes in at number 3. So your 2 foreigners are already done. At number 4, also no brainer, it's Rishabh Pant.
Has to be Rishabh Pant.
Right. So right now we're considering Rishabh Pant as a wicketkeeper, batter, captain.
Yes.
All of that. What we'll do is let's make the 11, and in case there is a scenario, and we can discuss that later, in case there is a scenario where you would need a wicket keeper also to come in and Pant is not keeping, what could that be? We'll get to once we do the 11 with Pant as a wicket keeper. Yeah? Anything?
Yeah.
Any doubts on that?
None whatsoever. So far, it's a very easy lineup to pick. So far.
Yeah. And whenever it's easy to pick a lineup, it's a good sign for the team.
Exactly.
It's a good sign for any team. But does it remain like that? We'll find out. Let's get to the next player, and I've got Harry Brook at number 5.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Can't be anyone
I'm
else.
just going. So he's done a lot of the batting for England at number 5. He's batted number 4 as well for England, but that's not happening. That's where he's scored bulk of his run as well, batting at 5, which is I think 16 odd times. The thing is, I'm just going back to that interview of Par Jindal where he said that he's going to be batting at number 6.
Brook. Is it confirmed? If okay, so we'll get to the batting order a little later.
Yeah.
Let's
So
say
5, 6 again.
you've got
Not a hard
Brook
line, but yeah, again, if not 5, then 6. I also have him at 5, but because again I had that interview in mind, so I think 5, 6 will again be an interchangeable sort of a couple of slots. But we can have him at 5 over here, that's no
Especially
problem.
considering you have an Akshar Patel lower down the order.
Yeah, I think what they will do, I don't think they can have a fixed sort of a slot for either Brook or
Correct.
Akshar. Akshar, they'd been even sending at 4 sometime, if you remember. But what they'll do is, if let's say a Pant falls,
Yeah.
then an Akshar comes
Akshar
in
comes
at
in,
5.
yes.
And if
They
a
did it
Marsh
last year as
falls,
well,
or
and he was
yeah.
one of the better batters.
Yeah.
That summed up the season for you then.
we're not like definite, but Akshar at 6. So between Akshar and Brook, I think they
Yeah, yeah.
rotate. Depending on whether they need a left-hander at that time or a
Or a
right-hander,
right.
right? So till now, till 6, no debate as such. We're pretty much done
Just
with.
thinking maybe we can have one more batter for Delhi here.
Yes, I've actually gone for a batter at number.
Yes, and
number
which is
7.
why maybe Akshar falls in 7 for me.
No, I don't think so.
No,
Akshar,
no.
Akshar is batting much higher
Because
than them.
I'm
And
just
was their
giving-
best batter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I just have a name in mind, which by
Sure,
the way
sure.
could be the 11 for Delhi with Pant not keeping also, and that gives you more batting in Kumar Kushagra.
Okay, now,
In-
but that's a wicket-keeping option.
Yes.
I think they'll only go to him if he is going to be keeping, and even there he is going to be competing. There is
Abhishek Patel.
Abhishek Patel is there.
There is Shea Hope also,
A fat
but
man,
again,
right?
you don't want to be playing him.
You know who I actually went with at number 7? I did put a batter. I actually went with Lalit Yadav.
Yeah, that's what I was going with.
Lalit Yadav played for them.
Yes, can
last
bowl
time,
as well.
and can bowl as well, and so more utility than a wicket keeper.
So if not Lalit, I've got the name of Ricky Bhui.
Also Ricky Bhui. I also have.
Lalit-
So I'm putting a batter there, but not a wicket keeper.
But Ricky Bhui is a top 2-3 batter at best.
Yeah.
You cannot play him at number 7. No
Good
chance.
point. But Lalit Yadav you can.
Yeah, Lalit Yadav is someone who
He's
has
a top
batter.
Why
Tonkin.
I would want to try someone apart from, and I know for Ricky it's going to be a big change, but at some point if I just have to usher him in, let's say, and if I'm keeping this batting order flexible, maybe at some point I would want to see a Ricky Bhui. Look at him, he's the highest run getter in the Ranji at the moment, 900 odd runs.
But
He's
he's batting at the top of the order.
batting at the top of the order. Also SMAT 184 was a strike rate, scored 234 at an average of 58.
No, I also had him in mind. But the thing is, I was struggling to accommodate him in the batting order. Unless what they do is, they do push Brook to 6, Akshar to 7.
Yeah.
And then, but even then 5, Ricky Bhui then goes,
Yeah, then
goes at
unless
5.
you drop Pant at 5 and is Ricky Bhui a
Yeah.
player you want to accommodate that badly that you drop 3 players down?
Ricky Bhui could be that guy who comes in if Shaw continues to have a torrid time.
Yes, that's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah.
That he would be your backup
But
opener.
I just have a feeling Kumar Kushagra will be for the first 6-7 games in your 11
No, but you are saying as a wicket keeper.
wicket keeper.
So
Because
Abhi we're not considering that. I'll
Considering
come
that.
to that. So
Okay.
right now you got to put a batter. So between Bhui and Lalit Yadav, I had gone with a Lalit Yadav
I'm
because
also going
that's
with
the
Lalit.
position for him.
Yeah, I'm also going with Lalit Yadav here.
So we got Lalit Yadav at 7.
Outvoted.
Yeah, but I agree with your point of Ricky Bhui. I thought of him, but again going back to the point of
just
of-
having his
yeah.
name, because I've seen enough of Lalit Yadav. I want to see a change in that particular position. So maybe again Lalit Yadav, the bowler doesn't impress me much, which is why let's say I don't mind seeing a youngster in Kumar Kushagra.
You may not need too much of his bowling anyway. I don't think because
No,
you'll
no,
have
no,
too
no.
many. You won't even need that when you're done with your 11. You'll see you won't even need that. You just need someone to tonkate at that.
Yeah.
And if need be, you ever give him an over or two. So you won't rely on him. Once you make your 11, you'll
See, because you
realize the
already have
balance.
2 bowling options in Akshar and Marsh. You've got your 2 bowling options there.
And you'll have 4 bowlers coming up.
Exactly. So Lalit is at best a 7th bowling option. 7th.
Exactly.
The MI specialist.
Exactly, which is what I said. When you make the 11, you'll get to it. Okay, let's get to now the bowlers. And so I go down from starting from 11.
Yeah.
Let be easier. Mukesh is
He has to be there.
right.
Mukesh
I mean,
Kumar.
no brainer. Mukesh comes in.
Yes.
Now India player.
Yes.
You
Now,
can't ignore.
all
All format India
All
player. So
format.
Mukesh comes in at 11 and
Andrik
Nokia
Nokia.
comes in at
Yes,
10, right?
Andrik Nokia at 10.
And by the way, Nokia I know has been injured, missed the World Cup, missed a few T20 games, the South African League as well, was not available. But as of now, there is no update. And when there's no update, that's good news, which means that he is not injured.
There is no update as far as Harry Brooks also concerned, because remember he was
Personal reasons.
Yes, he was destined to be here. In fact, he flew back because of personal reasons. Again, going by the same logic, hope it's good news and that he is on board as well. Andrik Nokia has been declared fit by the franchise and he starts the tournament as well. So no
So
doubt.
at number
about it.
9, then you'd put Kuldeep.
Kuldeep, no brainer. So your 4 foreigners are done in
Yeah.
Nokia, Marsh, Brook and Warner. For Brook, you also have a Tristan Stubbs as a
Yeah.
as a backup, just in case.
Yeah.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, Stubbs a wicket keeping option?
Yes.
And was very good at the SA20.
So what you could do is actually in that other scenario, if Pant is not keeping, instead of Brook, you play a Stubbs.
Correct.
So then Stubbs becomes your batter and your
Brooks the front runner at the moment.
if Pant is keeping.
Yeah. He was in fact the 7th highest Tristan Stubbs in the SA20, 301 runs at 60.2, strike rate of 160.
He plays for the MI team over there. Yeah.
No,
MI Cape.
MI Cape Town, because
Yes.
he's
Yes.
previously represented the Mumbai
Yes,
Indians
yes,
in the
yes.
IPL as well. So
Possible. Number 9, Kuldeep Yadav, no-brainer there as well. For number 8, I had an interesting pick. I don't know if you guys have gone. I've gone with Sumit Kumar, the all-rounder from Haryana.
Yes, good
how
name.
I remember his story, I don't know if a lot of you remember, when we covered the auction, there was a Sumit Kumar that got sold, who was a wicket-keeper batter.
Yes,
Yeah,
the wrong name.
Wrong name, correct? And his name flashed on the thing. It's a sad story. Actually, it's not a fun story. He's a wicketkeeper batter from Jharkhand, if I'm not mistaken. And they put his image out. People bid for him, and there was a bidding war. And then he goes to the Delhi team, and his family starts to celebrate. It's only later on Instagram that he sees that Delhi have put the image of another
player.
Sumit Kumar, which is the all-rounder from Haryana, who's a fast bowler as well as a big hitter of the ball. You know, he's a lower order bat who can really tonk it, and he's a good fast bowler as well who can swing the ball. And so that's the one. And those celebrations are shocking.
Punjab
I
also
remember
going to
that
a
story.
similar.
Yeah, no, that was, I think they
Gap,
said,
right?
But that I think was, they thought the auction was over for the guy.
For
And
the
they were
guy,
free.
yeah.
There was a number, but in this case, the name confusion was a sad story. And this Sumit Kumar later learned, the wicketkeeper batter learned that it was actually the bowling all rounder that they had bid for. So I went with Sumit Kumar because see, you sorted your spinners per se. You know, in a Akshar Patel and in Kuldeep Yadav. And I thought you will need another fast bowler. Now you have a few other fast bowling
Yeah,
options.
that's what I was thinking. Is there no other fast
Yes, there are.
See,
there
there
is
is Khalil.
Ishant Sharma. There's Khalil Ahmed. Now Ishant hasn't been in great form till very recently, if you remember.
Yes.
Hasn't been in great form. And if you can show us the squad, please, Shivam. Just the squad.
I
Yeah.
just have a feeling to start with
And
Sumit
Khalil-
will not be the guy.
But Khalil also is coming off an injury.
Injury and also a pretty bad IPL last year. He was topped
Yes.
all over the place. However,
See, which
I
is
still
the
start with him.
Exactly.
You start with Khalil.
Delhi don't have.
But you know what that does? If you go back to the 11, Shivam, I'll just tell you what that did and why I got a Lalit there is because I thought that I may need some sort of batting as well. Batting. Yeah, if you just look at that batting lineup and if you cut it full screen as well, Shivam, you see your batting at 7 in IPL is not great. I know Kuldeep's done well, but Kuldeep is not going to be a guy who's that sort of a batter, right? He's more of a conventional batter who could survive a few deliveries, maybe hit a 4 or 2 here and there. But in most teams, when we were making the batting lineup with I know a super sub also comes in, which we'll discuss. You've had batting till 8, 9. So in that scenario, I was tempted to go with Sumit, but I'll take maybe to get a bit of an option. You need a left arm fast bowler, so he's gone with Khalil Shane. So you have the casting vote.
Khalil.
You go with Khalil. Okay. So
Also
I
one
get
of the-
outvoted.
Also, one of the players who's been getting a lot of backing from the franchise again was inconsistent last year. So was Chetan Sakaria, but he still for the last couple of seasons I remember has been getting good backing.
They
So
let go of Sakaria, remember, and kept Khalil. That's
Khalil.
enough of a vote of confidence to say that I think they're going to stick with him.
Okay.
Early
Now,
on.
I would have played Sumit, but my two colleagues have outvoted
at some
me.
point maybe,
So Khalil.
maybe, but not at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Khalil.
Just correct that, Shivam, please. Yeah. So Khalil
So it
comes.
has to be Khalil at. Of course, see the batting order there is.
And that's where I think now that we have an 11, now that this looks like the ideal 11 for Delhi, this is where the problem is because we've only done 2 teams. We discussed Chennai.
By the way,
yesterday.
then the batting order changes. Kuldeep goes up.
Has to be.
has to be. Yeah.
Though that will change when you have a super sub batting bowling. I'll tell you why I had put a Lalit there as well. Lalit would have batted even lower for me. So my super subs, and let me know what your super sub was. My super sub was if you were batting first, let's say Delhi were batting first, then I would have Nokia out. So at no point would I have 4 foreigners in my 11. When I give my 11 as the captain, I'll only give 3 foreigners. So let's say if I'm batting first, then my 11 would have had either a Ricky Bui or a Yash Dhul, okay, a batter to just increase my batting lineup. So batting first, super sub is Yash Dhul / Bui.
Yeah, it has to be one of those two.
Shivam. Super sub batting first is a Yash Dhul
Yes, Dhul.
So Dhul
or a Bui if you're batting first. Was my option, and then I would have kept Nokia out. If you can put Nokia in the bracket there, please, Shivam, just put Nokia. So what I would have done is gone with 3. So
Yeah,
if I'm
you
submitting
get
the
an
team,
extra batter and
so then as soon as the
yeah.
bowling comes, I take a player and I can take the 4th foreigner in. So that's
Or whatever,
that's what I would have
Shaw
done.
can be the one going out because that's what you saw last year as
Yes,
well. So
my option
offer-
for bowling, which I had gone was, if I'm bowling first, then I play a Khalil. / an Ishan. Let's say Khalil for now. Okay. My option, and in there is, if I needed, so if I'm going with a fast bowler, so which I already have. If I had a Sumit in my team, then it would mean Sumit, Nokia, Mukesh, right? And so 3 fast bowlers are done, and a Mitch Marsh, by the way. So I had 4 fast bowling options, in which case I could have also looked at a bowling sub of a leggy, and they have a guy called Praveen Dubey who's a leg spinner, because you don't have a conventional leg spinner. Leg spinners tend to do well. You would have got a Kuldeep as a left arm Chinaman, you got an Akshar as a left armer, but if I needed a right arm leggy, I would have gone with a Praveen Dubey as my bowling sub. And as soon as that is done and your batting comes, then the guy who could have been out at that time could have been a Warner or a Brook or a whatever, one of them could come in as my batting. So I would have played either Khalil or a Praveen Dubey for my bowling sub, in which case I've got 3 spin bowling options, I have 3 fast bowling options with a back of a Mitch Marsh, 4 fast bowling option. That's how well rounded my team would have been had I not taken Khalil at 8 and I had taken Sumit Kumar at 8. But now I'm outvoted, so you've got Khalil there, so you can pick your subs, batting, bowling. I mean, batting would be pretty much the same.
Batting would be the same. That's what I was going with, because you'd need one batter, and these two seem to be. I mean, Dhul is someone who the franchise hopefully invests in, local boy, someone who could potentially be a captaincy candidate in the future if things go right. As for bowlers, I had also gone with Praveen, but can we take a look at the fast form as the squad? Because
you could have Sumit then as your...
Yeah, I think Sumit would probably be the only one.
Yeah, I mean the rest are foreigners, right? Jai Richardson you can't really fit
Lungi
in.
And Gidi again.
Yeah, Lungi and Gidi you can't fit in.
No,
so then you will have...
or a Rasik Dhar.
Rasik Dhar, yes, correct. So you decide whichever one you...
Probably Sumit. I'd go with Sumit.
Yeah, that's why I put Sumit in the 11 is because it gives me an all-round option. So it doesn't have to be... Even if I'm going to be using him as a bowler while you're batting first, if he's in the team, if you've had a collapse, will still give you runs, which a Khalil or an Ishant or whoever else you play will not do it. Sumit will be a batter and he tonks it. He's batted 6-7 for his state side. He gets you a lot of runs, hits a lot of sixes. So that's why I went with a Sumit 100% in my 11. And then Khalil could be my
impact player.
And at all time, I will
have the option of bringing in that foreign player.
Correct. That would have been my strategy. Anyway, you do let us know in the comment section what you think of the 11. What are the changes you would have made? What is the ideal 11 you would have gone with? So, and also put Sumit there.
Sumit would be one.
Yeah.
Because see, Khalil's already in the 11. Right?
But see, Sumit in the 11.
See, you can name a Vicky Ostwal as well, just that he was
Left armour.
But
you've got an Akshar.
Already, exactly. But I just hope at some point you see the poor guy, because he was one of the 2 players only. Remember, Delhi had used, I think, 23 players last year.
Of the 25. The other
of the 21
used was
Lungi Sani and Gidi. I just hope for somebody, again, until 2 years back, you saw him play the Under-19 World Cup for India. I just hope young talent. Again, Yash Dhul as well didn't get the amount of chances I wish he had gotten last year. So at some point, I just want the youngsters to be getting the push, which is why I didn't want, let's say, Lalit. I think I've seen enough of Lalit Yadav, which is why I'm okay taking a punt in a youngster like a Kumar Kushagra if he can offer me something over there. But let's see.
But what will happen? You can do a slash at number 7. So we were giving you options in case Pant is not keeping. So in that 7 number spot, you will have to play a wicket keeper unless you go with the option of playing Stubbs ahead of Brooks.
Yeah.
Then you're covered, and then you can just have Stubbs, and then Lalit can still be there.
So there can be Lalit / Kumar Kushagra / Abhishek Purell.
Yes, correct. So
Abhishek Purell
Kushagra and
gets
Purell.
a bit of an edge, I think, because he played 2 decent knocks last year. Was good behind the stumps, more importantly.
Yeah, so that's the option at number 7 if you're seeing. Only if you have a situation where Pant is not playing.
Correct.
So if you can show the 11 please, Shivam. So that's if you take a look at that. At number 7 you see Lalit / Purell Kushagra. If Pant doesn't keep, you can do that. So Lalit goes out, play either Purell Kushagra, or if you don't want to do it, you want to keep Lalit or even a Sumit at that spot, an all-rounder, then you can just have Stubbs play instead of Brook, and then that will be sorted. That's, I think, the strategy that Delhi will go with. So this is pretty much their 11 that we think, the ideal 11 that they'll go with. Now that you've seen the squad, what do you make of it? Is it a top 4 team?
I think they need a lot of things to go their way to be a top 4 team. That's not even me being snarky. It's genuinely because if you're looking at the bowling, I see 2 genuine match winners there in Nokia and Kuldeep. The rest of them give me hit or miss vibes.
Yeah, Akshar included.
Akshar included. With the ball, he's either economical or he's not. There's no in between. And not much of a wicket taking option. So, again, that's what I'm saying. The bowling does look a little bit on the weaker side. Then again, this was the side that out of nowhere last year, I remember Mukesh would sometimes be bowling in the death and doing well. Ishant was bowling in the death and doing well. So,
Yeah. Your vote counts here, my friend.
I think it's going to be a middling season for Delhi yet again. Because there's lots of ifs and buts in this side, in this 11. That
Middling means not making the playoffs or making the playoffs?
So maybe just in the fringes, let's say 4, 5. That's
but 4 is the playoff.
might just sneak in. Again,
That's the optimistic fan talk.
they'll scrape through if they were to. But again, 4 to 6, that's the kind of finish for on the optimistic side, of course. Because like I say, ifs and buts, if those ifs were to translate into something good. Because David Warner again didn't have an ideal IPL last year. Yes, he's picked up form after that, but can that again translate to good form in the IPL? We'll have to wait and see. Prithvi Shaw, you don't know what to expect. You don't know with Rishabh Pant either right now. Nokia, what if he picks up an injury? He's also coming back after a huge injury layoff.
Talking about Brook as
Brook
being,
only managed about 200 odd runs, out of which 100 came in a single innings
as an opener.
as an opener. So, but again, you don't know. Harry Brook in Indian conditions, something you wanted to see in the Test series, but you couldn't see that just because you wanted to see how good the guy
last
is.
IPL he struggled, barring that 100,
Exactly.
did nothing.
Did nothing.
So for me, see, it's very tough to now say top 4 because we have to analyze all teams to know where they stand, and then only you can compare, because this is just the second team we're analyzing. So maybe at the end of our all team analysis, we'll have a more definite answer, and of course we'll do more analysis there once all teams are done. But if you ask me now, the one team that I've done so far that we did was Chennai, and there's a big gap between Chennai and this Delhi team. Chennai I had picked as one of the title contenders for sure. Is Delhi that team that is going to be there? I'm not sure. So right now, can't definitely say. But on the face of it, looking at the squad, I'd say no, they're not making the playoffs.
The other problem being again,
find it tough.
There is no good Indian pace bowler. Mukesh Kumar, if he's, let's say, the leader of the attack, if there's no Anrik Nokia, then that doesn't tell you much about the bowling.
Yeah, lots of issue, as I said.
Ratings.
No, we can't know till we know all teams. Or can't. We can only just pick as a top 4 team. Yeah, but that's because we did all teams together. And this is a discussion we can have offline.
Yeah. So
Come on.
this
Time for
the
comments?
face of it- on the face of it, not a team. They can surprise. Because I remember saying something similar about a very similar looking team in 2022, and they came very close. But I remember that year Khalil had an otherworldly season. There are a lot of players who performed out of their skins.
Yeah.
So you need that to happen again.
Yeah. Okay, let's take some questions then. What is it that our lovely family telling us in terms of what they think this team is looking like, whether they think this has a chance or does not? Okay, Crick Lover. Crick Lover has a question saying, how do you justify Rohit in and Virat out in T20 World Cup? BCCI pressurizing so that he fails in IPL, but he is Virat, knows how to slap other people. What if others like, we are not, if you see our platform, we haven't even carried that news.
For good reason.
And there's a good reason. Again, not to be bragging about it, we're the first ones to tell you that he will be back in the T20 scheme of things. And he was back. Nothing has changed since then. There will be plants, there will be this, there will be that. So we're not, that's not a news that we can authenticate or is a news that we believe in. So no point commenting about a news we don't believe in. I know somebody carried it saying he's going to be dropped and the reason was the most bizarre ever, that the pitches will not suit him and so on.
And all, yeah.
That was so convoluted. That itself made me laugh. So I did not take that report very seriously, and that's why we not carried it, and that's why we're not interested. So nothing like that exists at the moment. So that's that. Okay, Puneet Handu, can you increase the font, Shivam? I can't really read very well. Okay.
He's shared his playing 11, I suppose.
Yes.
Where's it gone?
There.
Okay, Puneet Handu, he's got his 11. He's gone with Shaw and Dhul. Dhul could be the backup or Bui or whatever, as we discussed. Warner, then there's Marsh, there's Pant, there's Brook, then there's Akshar Swastika. That's interesting. He's gone with Sumit Kumar, which I had done too. There's Kuldeep, Nokia, Khalil, impact player could be Mukesh and Ishan. Yep, good team. GH Pujara saying, Nikhil sir, आप सबने PhD कर दिया दिल्ली टीम में, यही टीम खेलेगी. अरे यार, thank you so much यार.
No.
Issue is Delhi doesn't have a culture of its own. It's only identified with
GGK being very
naughty.
Only being identified Ben Stokes. That's what you're trying to say.
And Mera Baap Janto.
That's okay. See, it's a lovely city. You know, I am also not a Delhiite. I came and settled in this city, and I really like it. There's a lot of things to like about this city.
Correct.
Karthik Goel says the lower order is weak, which is why I'd put a Lalit and a Sumit to give that solidity to their batting.
Ironically, it looked a lot stronger with Robin Pal, but then Powell's spin was it was bad.
All you need was to place a spinner there right beside the umpire and he'd give away his wicket.
Yeah.
The man was castled umpteen number of times last
By
time.
the most basic of spin balls. Did he get a franchise this year?
Yeah. He got picked in fact for decent money, 4-6 crores in fact.
Oh, okay. But then again, the last time that...
Did Rajasthan go for him?
I don't remember who went for him, but the last time that Delhi Capitals let go of a Caribbean all-rounder who people had no hopes for, he turned out to be Andre Russell. So, who knows? Maybe Robin goes a similar way.
Yep, possible. Okay. Chaitanya Bhagat says, my opinion, every 3 or 4 years, mega auction should happen, and also no mini auction for every year. Injury players should be replaced, uncapped players should be groomed, give them more chances. We tried to address that question yesterday, and we are not fans of this big auction. That's done.
I think is passe at this point.
I think you need to stick to this team. Every year, allow teams to release the players that they don't want, keep the players that they want, and also players should have an interest. So open contracts. Player, if he doesn't want to stay, he goes. The ones that are out, whether on their own accord or whether the team has let them go back to the auction pool. Simple.
Or rather than an auction, do a draft.
Do an auction. I'm okay. If you like auction.
Then also, what you can do is negotiate the years of the contract rather than the standard 3-year thing.
Give some power to players as well.
Exactly.
Power just like every other sport does.
Correct.
Okay, Sahil Gehlot says, Lalit, enough chances for him. My choice is Sumit Kumar. He has a fantastic season for Haryana. Yes, true. He's an all-rounder, S-Mat. You should look at his scores. No, we did, Sahil. That is why I had him in my team for sure. He's a definite starter for me. Can bat really well. Is a good bowler. So yeah, that is something that we did discuss. Pranit Datta has got his 11.
Oh, so he's picked Shaw, Warner, Marsh, Pant, Akshar, Brook, Sumit. Lack of a good lower order batter will be a problem. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Also says, can you specify at what time do you come live?
We come live every day at 6:30 p.m.
And we also put out a post every day. Instagram, community, YouTube community, it's all there.
Yep.
So in case we ever do get late, barring any technical difficulties, we do tend to let you know the time.
Final question from Piyush Nandre. He's asking, Nikhil sir, should impact rule be scrapped? Australia scrapped theirs in BBL. It's most lame evolution in IPL. Stop from grooming Indian all-rounder, which India already lacking, mainly pacing all-rounder. Absolutely correct, Piyush. This is something we pointed out last IPL as well. This is what we kept harping about, that this rule's not really working. Need to get rid of it.
Or if you're going to keep it, if you're going to keep a proper sub, then either give teams the option that you have a bench, you have 5 players, and you can bring in any one of those players. Then it's really down to the gamble. So then scrap this batting 11, bowling 11. You name one 11, then you can make the change based on tactics. Like
This is a football.
Exactly.
You name a bench, you substitute players, but I think it should just be 11 players. That's how the game
No,
is
I'm saying
played.
if you want to keep
I
the
think.
substitute rule,
No,
keep it that
no,
way.
but
This
that
one I
also,
don't like.
okay, fine, but I don't even, the whole, that's such an interesting dimension to the sport of getting a balance right, where you have to look at, all-rounders, batters, bowlers, and the team that gets the balance right tends to do well. It's such an important aspect. You take it out by doing this and
the whole idea, I remember the time that the BCCI introduced this was not to, have more tactics in the game, and I think this was to give a new dimension to the game. I just want to understand what's this new dimension that we
There is
found.
no dimension.
What is it that IPL 2023 gave us, which was different? Yes, you only see 2 more players
it
take
gave
part.
you worse, which is now all-rounders.
Yes, and
Let's say
which youngster would then want to become an all-rounder? I would just hone my skill as a bowler or a batter then.
Puneet Handu says, guys, who do you think should captain Delhi Capital in case Pant doesn't keep every game or plays as an impact player? His pick is Mitch Marsh.
But
There's
he
a
is.
David Warner.
Yeah,
But he
but
is.
Warner's no. It's actually Warner who will be the.
No, but I'm saying it's been made clear that
he is,
yes,
yeah.
he will,
Hypothetical.
even if he's only batting, which also will be the case in the first 5-6 games, he will be the captain.
Shreyans Jain says it's the same team as last year except Brook. No chance.
Very optimistic, Shreyans.
One line for you, Harshit. One line.
Actually, yeah, they've replaced what do you call Robin Pal and brought in Brook. That's pretty much the extent of it.
Yeah.
Brook was with Punjab.
No,
Hyderabad.
SRH.
SRH.
Okay, on that note, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed our analysis of the Delhi team. Tomorrow is another day. We'll bring about another team. We're warming up to the IPL. I'm sure you guys are too. So look forward to your company. It's going to be a long, almost 2.5 months. Yeah, 2.5 months of IPL competition. And we'll be live every day. For the moment, it's bye-bye.
Vanakkam.
Nandri.
Sat Sri Akal.
Shubhratri.
Shubhratri.
Delhi.
Yeah.
Shabba Khair.
Namaste. Take care.
Eat your vegetables.
Don't trouble your mother.